Hello Drive Radio fans, Richard Rush here today with my good friend Walt McLean behind the camera. And today we're going to take a long look at the 2016 Honda HRV. And actually I should say the all-new 2016 Honda HRV, because that's what this is. A completely brand new model. You can call this the CRV's baby brother, a mini CRV, whatever you want to say. Honda's introduced this into the lineup. Some of you can say, wow, this looks actually like a CRV. I actually had several friends say, wow, don't you mean the CRV you're driving? No, it's the HRV, brand new model. Honda wants to get into that subcompact crossover market. This is their entrant into that market. Really has a lot of cool features. It has what Honda calls the magic seat in the back that you can mess with. You can put oversized cargo if need be. It does have a lot of storage room, has a lot of capacity for the price point. This car as it sits is $26,000 and some change. No options on there included. You are going to have some great standard features and some nice features such as the blind spot monitoring camera and some different things as far as the navigation system. And it's on this model, which actually I should say is the EXL Navi model, which includes that navigation system and a few other features we'll talk about in a second. But I'll tell you what, actually let's take a quick look around the car, give you guys kind of the round the car 360-degree view. We'll actually end up back on the front where we normally don't, but since this is an all-new model, why don't we give you guys that. So I like what they've done with the front end here. Apologize about the water. We've had some rain here in Colorado as of late. And so you come out, I love what they've done as far as the nice kind of lines here in the hood, giving this car some character, some front end character. The fog lamps down below. It's a nice aggressive front end, not terribly aggressive, but definitely something to keep in mind there, and I'm truly a fan of that. You can see the headlights there, nothing LED, your typical headlights, nothing too fancy, but again, for the mid-20s, very, very nice added features. You'll see right here, I mentioned the blind spot monitoring camera. That is right here, which we'll show you in the driving segment. Something else that's on the EXL Navi is actually the roof rails, which are actually, after Walt's done showing there, the roof rails right here. There's a moonroof option, or there's a moonroof added on this car, or not added, I should say. There is a moonroof on this car, which again for $26,000, very, very nice feature. Also on the EXL Navi, which is the top of the line, the roof rails I mentioned, leather upholstery, the navigation system, auto dimming rear view mirror, and the satellite and HD radio. And the reason I said is that's not all the features that are included, but that's just what you get for the top of the line that you're not going to get in the other line standard. So by getting this standard, and actually I forgot, we're going to go all the way around. I do like what they've done with the head. I'm going to cross in front of your view here. Do like what they've done with the tail lights right here. Really nice look to it. Definitely a very nice added feature for that. As you come along the side again, you can see the body lines that they've given. Love what they've done there. Again, this car has a lot of character. Very, very sporty feel. Miles per gallon, this car is rated for 27 and 32, I believe. Let me check my facts here. 27 and 32, but a 29 average. We were actually able to average 31 miles per gallon. That is on the all-wheel drive model. So something to keep in mind, they do make a front-wheel drive model of this as well. A couple of things real quick before we get into the drive. How would I describe this car? I would describe this car as sporty, simple, useful, and those are all great terms. Honestly, this car works. And we say that a lot in our reviews, and I know some of you grow tired of it, but simple, sporty, useful. Those are the three terms I would highlight this vehicle for, and we'll show you why here in just a second. So with that being said, let's take a quick drive. We'll come on back, take you through the trunk portion, the interior, and then I'll give you my opinion of the 2016 Honda HRV. All right, fans, we're getting ready for the driving portion here, and before we do that, we always like to show you the little bit of the infotainment system, easier to do with the back seat. So as you can see, it has Honda's Honda Link system in here. One thing that I'm not a huge fan of, and that is you'll notice there's no physical volume or tuning knob. So for example, if you go back to the radio here, going to go to the audio. To do everything tuning wise, you have to tune here, seek here, set your favorites up. The ability to, again, change some of the settings, see a station list, however you want to do it. Is that a deal breaker? No, but something to my wife, for example, she wants that physical volume knob and that physical tuning knob to be able to change everything around a little bit faster than having to just sit here and adjust with kind of with your hand, if that makes any sort of sense. So we're with your finger, I should say. Down here you have your AC controls, not a dual climate by any means. I think I may have mentioned in the another part of the review, whether it be before or after this, that it didn't have seat heaters. It actually does. This car does have seat heaters right here on the side. One thing I do like, and actually I'm going to show you this really quick here, is all of this goes away. All these are just lit up. All of this goes away when you turn the car off. So you notice, that's all gone now. So it gives this car a nice, sleek appearance when it's not, honestly, when it's not on, if that makes any sense, if that matters to you. But again, ability to control all of that there. Real quick, we like to show you as well the rear view camera. Again, can see where you are at. The grid lines, honestly, haven't played with the system a ton to know if you can adjust that and add the grid lines there. If you can, definitely, actually, I take that back. It just took a while for them to pop up. You can see, and it does have the dynamic grid lines, which we really, really like. It makes it a lot easier, and when you do get to that center, it goes there. And something else which not a lot of other manufacturers have, the ability to change the views. So if you want a more narrow view, maybe a boxier view, kind of an overhead if you're hooking up a hitch by chance or pulling up to a curb, or if you just want the very nice wide angle lens, it's available there. So let's take a quick drive and we'll go from there. Oh, one thing I do want to point out, with the moonroof that is in this model, you have less headroom in the back seat, and I don't know if I'm probably going to forget to mention that here later on. There's less room because the moonroof has to have some place to go back and it has some place to work. So something to keep in mind if you do have taller passengers consistently. But let's take a quick drive. This does have the CVT transmission in it. My biggest complaint with this car, and I guess biggest downside in my opinion, would be the lack of acceleration. However, with that being said, the CVT is going to give you excellent fuel economy. I have been on this thing like no other, to be honest with you, and I'm going to give you my current updated fuel economy. I'm currently sitting at 30.2. Before the past couple of days, we've actually been about 31, 32 miles per gallon, which is right what it's rated for on the highway. So definitely, as far as that goes, fuel economy wise, the CVT helps you there immensely. A couple other areas that it does, it's not the quietest car on the inside, but it's quiet enough, especially for the price point at which you're buying this vehicle at. Ride quality, ride comfortability, I haven't noticed anything that's out of the ordinary. In my opinion, it rides relatively smooth. Again, for what it is, you're not going to not feel those bumps in the road, especially if it's a little bit rougher than you're going to typically find on a standard road. Something to keep in mind. That would be my only suggestion to you, is keep in mind why you're buying this car. You're not buying this car to be a smooth sailing car that's going to be 2 or 3 times as much as this vehicle is. You're buying this is a very much a less than average purchase price for a car. Definitely a very nice handy feature. And you know what we normally don't do, but I mentioned it in the intro, which is actually the blind spot monitor. So I've got my right turn signal on, and as you can see, it's showing me what's behind me in my blind spot. So this is kind of a red, yellow, and yellow to show you where the car actually is at. So it will actually activate whenever you have your right signal turned on, or let's say you're just driving down the road and you want to check it out. Over here on your turn signal, you can actually push the button and it automatically turns that camera on for you. So you can actually be driving down the road and see. Some of you are going to say, well, that's not safe. Well, it's actually designed for safety. It's designed for you to see what's out your blind side before you actually do. So if you flip on that turn signal, you're able to see who's in your blind spot and who's beside you before you actually end up turning. We got some bikes in front of us, so we'll slow down, which actually is a good time for me to let you know, which is, who do we recommend this car for? This can be for a family starting out, not wanting to spend a whole lot of money. Definitely a new car versus some used cars out there that are for the mid to 20s. You're going to find a used car, but this is a brand new car you're going to be able to find. Who else is this car for? Maybe you have kids and you want to get them a lower end model of this that's going to be in that low 20s. Definitely an option for them. There's going to be a lot of features that they're going to get, a lot of safety things such as that you're probably not going to find on other vehicles. So definitely some nice features there. But with that being said, let's head on back. I'll go through the exterior, or I should say I'm going to go through the trunk as well as the interior, and then I'll give you my opinion of the 2016 all-new Honda HRV. Fans, one thing I wanted to show, and I actually mentioned it before, I want to make sure I show you this, which is the brake hold feature on this car. So you can see this little button right here that says brake hold right next to the parking brake. So you press that, and it actually is going to, it's hard to show you, but it will light up on the screen over here. And what that allows me to do is, when that's on and I come to a stop at a stoplight or whatever, I can actually let my foot off the brake completely, and it's going to hold. It's the rear view lights are still active. It's acting like the brake is still on. That way, instead of having to remove my foot from the brake, push it onto the gas, whatever, it's more of a comfort feature. But you just, all you have to do is press the gas and it releases the brake. Very nice feature. One last thing I will say that Honda has done, put in very nice, big, very easy to see and easy to use gauges. So when you do go test drive this car, take note of that the speedometer, the tachometer, everything is very, very easy to use and operate. So with that, we'll head back and we'll go through the interior. All right, fans, we're back from the driving portion. Hopefully you enjoyed that, especially for a car like this where it's going to be most likely for maybe a family of 4 or whoever it might be for, or whoever's looking at this car. Get out, drive it yourselves. It's the only way to see if this car works for you, especially in this car, which we're about to show you some of the cool features on it and some of the room and stuff. You've really got to get a feel for it by putting your stuff in it, putting yourself in it, putting your bags in it, putting your whatever you need to in it in order to see if this car works for you. So we are here on the trunk. One thing to note, not automatic, but again, $26,000 for this car. Not sure you'd expect that for this price point. But so you press it, again, not automatic, but all you do is press it, lift up, and it will go. Once you get it about past halfway, it will raise up. I'm going to get to your figures because I know some of you really, really care about all that. 23.2 cubic feet with the all-wheel drive model, 57.6 cubic feet with the seats down. So this is the front-wheel drive, you get a little bit more space. The all-wheel drive model, you get slightly less space. But nothing major. One cool thing I am going to show you, I'm going to have Walt stay right here. There's more than enough room for a large carry-on bag or even a large checked bag for those of you who travel quite a bit, or if you're going to take a road trip. I'm actually going to throw the seats down real quick and show you how much room is there. So, something that's special about these seats, which you're not going to find everywhere else. This is what Honda calls their magic seat. And what that means is this can be made for incredibly useful items. There's a lot of room from here to the very back where Walt is standing right now. And also, it's hard to see too, but this seat actually slides forward. This back seat slides forward. And actually, you know what, Walt? Let's see if you can kind of get it from this side. I'll see if I can stand kind of out of the way. If you pay attention here, everyone, you can actually see this seat slides forward, which helps everything lay flat. So you're not going to have any issues as far as getting any cargo in here. Definitely a very nice added feature we are fans of. It's immensely helpful. Real quick before we do hop into the front there, want to mention that this does lift up here for your spare tire. So if you wanted to store anything down there, you definitely could, but definitely an added option there. So with that, actually, let's take a break and I'll hop around to the other side and show you the rear seat. All right, fans, we're here in the back seat. As you can see, this seat is significantly farther back than over here. This seat is fit for about a 6'3", 6'4" person. This seat is obviously fit for myself, which is about 5'9", 5'10". As you can see, this is all the way back. However, I don't have a lot of room, but I still got 1 or 2 inches of room, which really is very, very good for a car this size. Plenty of room, feel very, very comfortable. These seats are comfortable. I have the optional headrest up here, so I can lay back if I need to. Kind of right here, you can raise and lower that as necessary depending on your height. Really some great features. For this center console, let me see if I can grab it for you. Actually doesn't come down, I apologize. The center console doesn't come down. You have kind of one single cup holder on the back here, as well as a power outlet. So something to note there. Real quick, last thing we usually like to talk about, the apportionment on the door. In some nice soft touch leather materials here. Very, very impressed. You can rest your arm right here, over in here, whatever you want to do. Definitely some nice features I'm really impressed with there. A lot of you always like to know, how is it when getting out of the car? Hop out right here. we're able to just slide out. Very easy to do with the lady. And with that being said, I'll meet you on the front. I'll meet you on the other side to go through the front seat. All right, fans, we're here for the front seat, and gonna real quick show you again the apportionments for the door. Very, very similar to the back seat. Some nice soft touch materials there. Honestly, some pretty high quality materials for a $26,000 car. As you get into the actual car right here, you can see the vents that they've put here, a series of 3 vents. This is not soft touch right here. It's kind of a, I don't want to say a rubbery plastic sort of feel right here. I love what they've done with, there's again, another plastic part right here, but it doesn't look cheaply put together. And I know that this car is 26, is underneath the average price, not cheaply felt as far as materials go in my mind. Again, some nice leather seats right here, nothing too fancy as far as stitching goes. One thing I will note, you can scoot this seat forward. Let me see if I can get it with one arm. Here we go. And adjust for however you'd like. One thing to note, right here, which is where this, protecting and covering the underworkings of the seat and of the vehicle, it kind of makes it difficult if you're sitting here and you like your seat, your feet kind of at a 90-degree, your knees at a 90-degree angles, makes it a little bit difficult to do that. Not a con, just something to be wary of. As we get in here, you do have the ability, again, 2 cup holders right here. One thing, Walt, if you can show them, which I'm actually going to show, is you can actually flip these little cup holder things up if you want a deeper and or wider cup to go in there, or a bottle, water bottle, whatever it is. Or if you just want a nice little shallow thing, you can do that as well. Nice little center console here. Not a whole lot of storage there, obviously. Very, very small. One feature I will mention on here, actually real quick, let's go through this. You have the touchscreen here, the Honda Link system. All of your air conditioning controls are right down into here. You have a lot of your other navigation and such control, or not navigation, but your cruise control, volume, menu controls right from your steering wheel right here, which worked really, really well. Over here, one thing I will mention, this does have a brake hold, if you can see this button. For those that you don't know, we showed you in the driving portion, which that gives you the ability to press that, fully release off the brake, and you're able to, the car won't go anywhere. So for those of you who are sitting in a stoplight a long time, you don't have to worry about having your foot there. Last thing I'm going to show you really quick, right here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's some storage underneath here. There's actually a power outlet right here. You have the ability for USB. Let me see if I can get on this other side. 2 USB ports, in fact. And you also have the ability for an HDMI connector right there. So again, if you have that ability and want to do that, definitely a nice added feature. You have an Econ mode in here, and I love the push button start and stop. So with that, I'm actually going to hop out and give you my opinion of the 2016 Honda HRV. All right, fans, here's our opinion of the 2016 Honda HRV. All new model for Honda. I like it. I enjoy it. It's definitely a very new, I don't want to say it's an entry-level car because this is their top-of-the-line model for this, but for the subcompact crossover segment, I think this is going to be a competitor. You get great value for your money. You're going to get great fuel economy if that's something that you want to have. We mentioned the driving portion, the great visibility that this car does offer with its wide angle views. It's a very subcompact car. You can put it in some tight parking places if you need to. Love the functionality of the cargo room in the back seat, especially if you put those seats down. You can get quite a bit of equipment storage in this actual vehicle, which for its size is pretty incredible. It's actually going to be the top of its class, to be honest. What are some downsides? You don't get some seat heaters and some other different things, but you can add those things on there if you would like to. The front seats with that base on them is a little bit different, a little bit harder to get used to, but not something I'm terribly concerned about. So overall, really impressed with this car. For those of you interested in buying this car, I would highly recommend that you get out, review this car, see what other people thought, but the only review that truly matters is your review. So get out, sit in this car, take it for a test drive, get your family in this car. See if they enjoy it, and if it's something that they will thoroughly enjoy. Definitely something that we did. We're definitely fans of it. So if you're interested in this car, check out Honda's website. head to your local Honda dealer, tell them that John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to our latest video. We really appreciate you listening and watching, and we really do appreciate all the comments that you do have. If you'd like to learn more information, not only about this review, but our other car reviews that we've done, head to our website, www.drive-radio.com. Also head to our Facebook page, facebook.com/driveradio. And last but not least, where you can watch all of these other reviews, head to youtube.com/driveradio, all one word, or in the YouTube search bar, Drive Radio. We have a lot of other content on there, and we look forward to you heading there, again, checking us out, leaving your comments, and if you're interested in any of these cars, head to your local dealer and tell them that John and Richard Rush from Drive Radio sent you. Thanks, and have a great day, night, and just enjoy yourselves. Thank you so much.